colleagues. Can you hear me well? Yes, we can hear you. If you can speak louder, please, she says. A little bit louder. Yes, I would like to thank DARYA project for this opportunity to participate in this activity. For us, this is honor for our young body, which was established in Kazakhstan. I would like to tell you in short about the work that is conducted. I will try to follow the time schedule. In general, the national qualification system in Kazakhstan is based on the order of the president. In his message, he identified the direction of the work, and identified the main goal. The main purpose is to identify the legal acts and to consider the offers from the side of the education. If we speak in details, as part of our law, we're developing in 3 directions. The first direction, just like in developed countries, leading countries, we form the sectoral qualification systems. We define professions in all directions. Then we establish the sectoral centers for the recognition of professional qualifications. The next one is the increasing the participation of employers. This is a priority for all countries because employers is the main stakeholder in this field. The second direction is the training of professional staff at the request of employers. We pay special attention to integration and digitalization of education and labor market classifiers. We conduct a lot of work in this direction, and as part of the common platform, we want to connect all the points which are necessary. The next one is the coverage of all professions by professional standards. I will speak in details about this in my presentation. And the next one is the development of educational programs based on professional standards. We work together with different ministries, Ministry of Education, and the third direction is improving the quality of human capital. And we recognize the alternative education. We consider the employment opportunities and salary increase with certificates. And we consider the questions of salary with this body. And also it is important to consider the formation of labor remuneration and human resources policy on the basis of professional standards. As part of our law, we have certain innovations. Implementation of a 3-tier management model. This includes institutional allocation of levels, roles, and main tasks. And as our colleague from Tajikistan said, it is important to have the involvement of all stakeholders. The second one is the transfer of functions on the development of professional standards to state bodies. Earlier, as part of the development of professional standards, we wanted to increase the efficiency of professional standards and to increase the coverage of professions by professional standards. Another innovation is recognition of alternative education. This includes legislating the recognition of professional qualifications and uniformity of terminology, not only at the legislative level, but also at the subordinate legislation level. The next innovation is NQS digital platform, Career in Back KZ. This is a separate platform. For this purpose, we want to digitalize all major points I said about the Ministry of Education and Science and Higher Education. The cycle of recognition of professional qualifications will be digitalized, and we conduct the work to consider it in national qualification framework, and we conduct the project for the development of the bank of skills. We want to digitalize this as well and to discuss it with the centers of professional training. And as part of the law, we consider another innovation possibility of recognizing an individual skill. And this includes the improving of efficiency and quality of human capital. It is important for the recognition of skills. We implement the incentive measures as well. We include here raising interest for entering the NQS and involvement of specialists in assessment of their competencies and skills compliance. I said the major innovation was the management model. And here on the top, you can see the National Council. This includes the coordination of government bodies. The next one, this is the implementation monitoring, and it is done by Minister of Labor and Social Protection of the Population. And it is responsible for the general policy on NQS, development of regulatory documents, quality assessment of development and application of tools. And this provides methodological consultancy support for state bodies and industry councils for professional qualifications. It is also necessary to underline the work on digitalization. We conduct the expertise.
At the third level, we have the state authorities. That is the responsibility of the state bodies, and they include independent industrial councils. So if we talk about the formation of qualification policies, then it is the responsibility of the sectoral councils. They make the recommendations on qualification systems, and they develop the offers, the needs, the proposals. They do the analysis and other ideas for the development of this sector. So you can see that there is a close link between the two bodies at the legislative level. So here, if we have a look at the competences of the national authority, we can talk about the main things. So we're responsible for the development of proposals to improve the national qualification system. And then we also support the digitalization, develop the annual plans for the development and updating of the sectoral qualifications and professional standards. We also develop the priorities with the consideration of the state authorities. We also have to mention that we provide support to the development. We also advise the specialists of the sectoral councils. So they have to go through the chamber, and we are responsible for the monitoring and for the digitalization. That is our responsibilities, more or less. We also provide the certificates, and we also provide training on the development of basic systems of qualification. So these are the major ideas and the major responsibilities of the competencies and the activities that we implement. And here, dear colleagues, I wanted to demonstrate what the sectoral branches are doing. So in 20 state authorities, we have about 44 sectoral councils. Each sectoral council has defined the experts, and overall we have over 700 experts, and over 50% of them are representatives from the higher educational institutions, vocational schools, and representatives of associations and organizations. It is also important to mention that the representatives of the state authority cannot be the chair of the sectoral council. The sectoral council chair is elected from the other members. It's important. And if somebody wants to join the sectoral council, they can join it, they can apply and join it on a voluntary basis. And so any independent expert can apply and become the member. If we talk specifically, the sectoral councils have all the required professionals. Then we have the approval of sectoral qualifications frameworks. They consider the different proposals on the formation of the sectoral qualification frameworks and results of the analysis on the absence or incomplete coverage of supervised areas. approved the sectoral qualification frameworks. They harmonize the professional standards, which is very important. Also, they harmonize the proposals on the recognition of professional qualifications, as well as participate in the work of the National Council for Professional Qualifications. And also, I would like to say that the chairs of this sectoral councils and the secretariats are formed separately. And currently, we're conducting the so-called expert platform with the involvement of these experts to develop the new proposals on systematic vision of the further development of the sectors. Thank you. Next slide. So this slide shows a few indicators from Kazakhstan as represented by my colleagues. We can say that with the implementation of the new law as of September 2023, we were able to update the professional standards, and they're all digitalized. So overall, in Kazakhstan, we have over 700 professional standards. And then we have over 40 sectoral councils, about 400 sectoral experts. We have developed about 800 professional cards for each professional standard. And it was also important to mention that we have formed over 500 professions for the registry. And we trained over 1,000 experts within the last year. And here you can see it's the digital platform. The platform is open. Any participant can use it. And it has free access in Kazakhstan. We allowed to use the information through the special tools and QS tools. And it is widely used since last year, and we're not just waiting every time. We're trying to go through the optimization process, and we try to include all the most recent business processes and integrate the business processes. And we're developing all the tools of NQS and try to include them into our platform and ensure the access to them to make sure that they're updated and most optimal. We also do the analysis and monitoring an assessment of all the stakeholders that are using this platform. We also hope that this platform will be integrated with other portals for smooth transmission and inclusion of all the required information that is used by our experts. So we have developed a certain strategy for ourselves. Of course, we want to make sure that our colleagues from other countries and us wanting only the best for the country, we want to introduce the transformation from the employer, from common consumer to the main a client of the training system. We want to define the required professions based on the standards, get them involved in the assessment of the skills and knowledge so that they receive the required skilled labor. We also think of transformation of certification centers into the recognition centers of professional qualifications, and that includes the assessment of skills, abilities, and qualifications. And of course, the responsibility for the level of qualification and skills awarded. We also try to include the compensation to the employee in case of loss of working capacity related to qualifications and assigned skills. We also want to transform educational organizations from training centers into the centers of competence development. And that's where the professional standards are crucial. We try to include the offers and proposals from the employers, which will allow us to change the professional standards based on the needs. And the last one is the transformation of the state's mission from the process management to coordinator of systematic interaction between labor market and education. But as I mentioned, we just want to ensure the systematic interface and coordination, because without the smooth coordination with at all levels of the government, this work will not be quite possible. So we are trying to coordinate all the procedures and targeted distribution of the educational standards and promotion of the national systems of qualifications. So I have talked about the major approaches and the development. Hopefully, I was able to fit within the time limit. I have to say that we continue working, and we will take into consideration your experiences, maybe your suggestions,